Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick review on the Dometic CFX3 55IM. We do a lot of camping and we don't really like using a cooler. We always found that if you put ice in it, it'll thaw really quickly or you'll have lots of liquid build at the bottom. So thought we would try a fridge out, a 12-volt cooler, which has been awesome so far. Keeps all of our stuff cold, never disappointed us yet. On the left side here we have a DC input. We have an AC input. On the right side, also have a screen, and I actually have a USB. I didn't think we'd ever use a USB, but we use it almost every time to charge our devices. Things overall really well built. You can tell just by grabbing the handle or something slap like that. Has good latches and good hinges. You gotta really slam it to get it in, so I don't think anything's gonna open up. You have a little LED light here. You have a little drain plug at the bottom. You can just pull straight up in case you have liquid buildup. It'll just drain at the bottom. Easy to remove divider if you want. We also have these crates you can remove for packing, which makes it really convenient because where we put our cooler, well, I'll show you later, it's kind of tough to get into the truck when it's full. It gets pretty heavy pretty quick. You have another crate you can remove. And beneath here is the ice maker. Two little trays, little rubber ones. They seal off. We've only tried it once and it didn't work for us because we had it in fridge mode. I thought maybe it would get cold enough in there to freeze the ice cubes, but I guess it only works if you freeze the cooler. You can close that up and put the little crate back in. And last thing I want to show you is just the specs here. Just to have a quick look at our setup here. We have our rooftop tent, and we have the cooler always in the back. So we took out our little divider down here so we have a bit more space so we can lift it up, and it fits pretty nice between the seats so that I can access everything from the inside. Close it. We got the cable on the side keeping the ventilation open. Run my wire all the way along the seat here, and have the plug. Just made a little homemade plug with another fuse in it just to be safe. It goes out through the back. There's my yellow power cable coming from the cab. I got a little piece of foam in there just to keep the rain out of the cab. It comes under my tonneau cover and into my batteries. So to turn it on, all you gotta do is hit the power button. It'll boot. Tells you right away the temperature inside, if Bluetooth is on, and AC. Nice thing about this is if you are plugged into your batteries directly, it'll say DC and it will have the voltage of the battery. So you can kind of keep an eye on that. It's kind of nice to know. Plus then you don't have to go buy a DVM to figure it out. You can go through the settings by just going up and down. You set your temperature. I've got it set at 2. Battery protection, which is awesome too. I won't need it as much because I have secondary batteries, but if you've got this hooked up into your vehicle directly, this will help prevent you from draining your batteries so you can still start your car later on. Bluetooth, this is on for me right now because I'm using it for the app. Wi-Fi, I believe that's for the app as well. Display, you can turn up your brightness or down. I don't really need it super bright, so I'll leave it there. And Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's 2:30 now, so I'll let it go for a while. It is hooked up to AC power right now, and I'll tell you guys how long it takes to go down to 2 degrees. So the cooler just got down to 2 degrees. It took about 30 minutes, which is pretty average. I usually let it cool down with the AC, so then I don't drain my batteries. I've only taken out the cooler for 3 days, but I found the batteries to be sufficient. I think I could probably last 4 to 5 days, honestly, on one charge. I guess it depends on how old your batteries are and how far you discharge them, but the way I've got mine set up and with the low battery protection mode set, I think I could do it 4 to 5 days pretty easily. The Dometic cooler is super efficient, so it should last a while. It kicks on and off as it's needed, so it doesn't run all the time like the cheaper coolers, and that's why we decided to get more of an expensive cooler, just because it'll give us more capacity out of our 2 batteries. The other cooler I tried from Canadian Tire was like $80, and it basically ran the entire time at 3 amps, so it drained my 2 pretty big batteries really quickly. If you still are a little concerned about your battery life, I'd definitely recommend getting a solar panel. We were really concerned about the battery life in the beginning, so I decided to just get a 100 watt panel. Seems to do the trick. It definitely keeps up with the cooler and tops up the batteries if you have a sunny day. Even if it's not a sunny day, it'll extend your battery life quite a bit, and I think you could squeeze a couple extra days out if you had the solar panel hooked up to your batteries all the time. The only other thing I wanted to mention was the app. I found the app actually quite useful. I didn't think I was ever going to use it, but I mean, you can check how cold the cooler is. You can change all the settings I went through on this display. You can do that all from the app. So if you're driving and you can see how warm it is, or if you want to cool it off a little bit, found it really useful. Also, it tells you how much you're using for power, which is, again, super useful if you're concerned about battery capacity like I was. I'd be able to, while we're driving, check the battery voltage and just keep an eye on everything from wherever you are, which is really awesome. So the final question is it worth the money? We think it is. We did spend quite a bit on it. You'll have to look up your local price, but it's supposed to last a lifetime, so I think it is worth the money we'll spend on it. It kind of gives you quite a few luxuries about not opening, or I guess opening whenever you want, and not being concerned about ice thawing and your chicken getting bad, or all the liquid building up at the bottom and sogging whatever else is at the bottom. So for the price, I think it is justified.